Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. I'm Shruti Vijay Kumar, and today I'm presenting on-farm biosecurity, and I will also be giving you tips on end-of-batch cleanout. To begin with, let's look at what biosecurity actually means. Biosecurity refers to measures taken to prevent the introduction of disease-causing organisms to a flock. It also refers to measures taken to prevent the spread of disease-causing organisms from shed to shed on a farm or also between flocks. Biosecurity is a defensive health plan that can help to keep your farm disease-free. This particular diagram here shows us various sources that has the potential to introduce disease-causing organism into a poultry farm. If these sources are controlled and managed effectively, then the chances of introduction of a disease-causing organism into a flock can be minimized. Today, I'm going to cover a few of these potential routes in detail. I will be covering the end-of-batch cleanout. I will also be covering equipment and vehicle cleaning, wild birds, insect control, and rodent control. So let's look at why end-of-batch cleanup is important and how it forms a part of biosecurity. End-of-batch cleaning usually involves a combination of physical and chemical processes that help to reduce the load of disease-causing organisms that may be present on a farm at the end of a production cycle or after a disease outbreak. A thorough clean out of sheds helps to reduce the load of pathogens for the new incoming flock. And hence, end-of-batch cleanout forms an integral part of on-farm biosecurity. Let's look at steps involved in end-of-batch cleanout. An ideal end-of-batch cleanout involves dry cleaning, washing, and sanitization. Dry cleaning is the first and a very crucial step in end-of-batch cleanout. Dry cleaning involves removal of litter, removal of residual feed and other organic matter that may be present in the shed. The efficacy or the effectiveness of the chemicals that are selected for cleaning and disinfection depends on the amount of organic matter present in the shed. Lower the organic matter in the shed, the higher the efficacy or effectiveness of the chemicals used. It is essential that feeder pans and feeder troughs are emptied thoroughly. A leaf blower can be used to help empty the feeders. Floors of the sheds must be swept after litter removal. This will help remove litter from the sides of the sheds close to the dwarf wall. It is recommended that farms include an inspection step after dry cleaning. This will help to verify if satisfactory results were achieved, and the inspection can also be used to train staff to achieve satisfactory results. The next step for end-of-batch cleanout is washing. The chemicals selected for washing must be APVMA approved and approved for use on a poultry farm. The source of water is very important for washing. The water used for washing must be potable. Sequence of washing is also very crucial to avoid recontamination of surfaces. This diagram here shows the direction of application of detergent and the direction of rinsing the ceiling of a poultry shed. The contact time of the chemical and the concentration of the chemical on various surfaces must be as per the manufacturer's recommendation. If using a foam detergent, the consistency of the foam must be thick. A liquidy foam will not stay on the surface for long, and the desired contact time will not be achieved. The first picture on this slide is an example of a runny foam detergent. The other two pictures are consistency of the foam that are acceptable as it sticks to the surface for the recommended period of time. Managers and supervisors must verify that their staff are well trained in checking the concentration and consistency of chemicals used for washing. This diagram here is a schematic representation of direction of foaming and rinsing the wall of a shed. Foaming must be from bottom and upwards, and rinsing, high pressure rinsing must be from the top to the bottom. Sanitization is the last step of end of batch cleanout. Sanitization must commence only after all other steps for end of batch cleanout are satisfactorily achieved. Just as the other cleaning chemicals, the sanitizers selected for the end of batch cleanout must be APVMA approved for use in poultry sheds. To test the concentration of the sanitizer on various surfaces within the sheds, farms can use chemical test strips. Farms can liaise with the chemical companies to check for the availability of these chemical test strips. On an all-in, all-out farm, it is ideally recommended that all sheds are sanitized at the same time. There are many tests available to check the effectiveness of cleaning and sanitization within a poultry shed. Some of these tests can be performed by swabbing various surfaces in the shed before and after sanitization. The swabs can be tested for total viable count, and the swabs can also be tested for salmonella. Some farms can use ATP testing to determine the efficacy of their cleanout. If ATP swabs are used to test the efficacy, it is recommended that these farms sample the sheds before washing, that is just after dry cleaning, and then do a subsequent swab after sanitization to better understand the efficacy of their cleaning. Insect and rodent control form a part of end of batch cleanout. Insects and rodents can transmit disease-causing organisms between batches of birds, and hence they act as a vector of disease carrier. Most farms use an insecticide as soon as the last bird is removed from the shed. In case of an heavy infestation, it is recommended that a second round of insecticide be applied after washing the sheds but prior to sanitization. The insecticide application must be done after the sheds are dry post-wash. Regular checking and replenishing of the rodent baiting station must be carried out by qualified professionals. Let's look at vehicle and equipment cleaning. All vehicles entering a poultry premises must be decontaminated. Wheels of the vehicles entering the farm must be sanitized using an approved sanitizer. All farm equipments and machineries must be decontaminated at the end of each batch to prevent the spread of disease-causing organism into the new flock. Regular farm equipments such as brooms, showers, and buckets must be washed and sanitized between batches of birds. Equipments like these are regularly used by Australian poultry farms, and majority of the times, due to the short times, these equipments are left uncleaned. Using the same equipments without cleaning can easily transmit disease-causing organisms between flocks, and hence vehicle and equipment decontamination or cleaning forms an essential part of on-farm biosecurity. Wild birds are a major threat to the poultry industry as they are a carrier of many poultry diseases. To avoid attracting wild birds to your farm, it is essential that you promptly clean up any feed spills that are around the silo or outside the sheds, and ensure your ranging area is well drained and does not hold any puddles of water that can attract wild birds. Before we end this session, let's do a quick recap on the importance of on-farm biosecurity. Treatment of a flock after a disease outbreak is not only expensive but also causes economic losses due to mortalities and decrease in production. And hence, biosecurity forms an integral part of a poultry production. A risk assessment must be conducted by all farms before customizing biosecurity measures to suit the individual farm's needs. End-of-batch cleanouts help reduce the load of disease-causing pathogens and protect the new flock, and hence end-of-batch cleanout also forms an integral part of on-farm biosecurity. Thank you.